the state's public health emergency declaration expires on Tuesday, almost 3 years after it began. The state of emergency allowed for things like free vaccines, free COVID tests, and increased health care coverage. But as it comes to an end, so may some of those services. Nearly 3 years after the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, the light at the end of the tunnel is shining brightly.
It does definitely feel like an important milestone.
The state's coronavirus emergency declaration expires Tuesday, illustrating a turning point in the years-long battle against COVID-19. But the end of the emergency declaration isn't just symbolic. It represents a shift in the way state and local officials will approach the pandemic.
Measures such as mask wearing indoors or some restrictions of public gatherings in public spaces or mandatory testing and such. Now this, of course, has to go more through a sort of approval process, and it cannot be just enacted sort of in short term.
Also, mass vaccination and testing clinics will no longer be operating, and health insurance companies won't have to fully cover COVID vaccines, testing, and therapeutics after November 11th.
It's not that the COVID-19 infection is going to go away. We're never going to hear about it again. It's just that now we've passed that threshold in terms of the number of cases and hospital admissions and things like that don't require for us to have these emergency measures in place.
The coronavirus is still infecting nearly 3,000 people and killing an average of 20 every day in California. But more than ever, Dr. Schalch Lepe says the virus has become something we must live with.
It's still out there, and we shouldn't forget that. But of course, we've learned a lot. We have now not only vaccines, but also treatments.
And while the light at the end of the tunnel shines brightly, Dr. Schalch Lepe urges the community to stay up to date with their vaccinations and keep taking the necessary precautions.
Those are common sense, easy measures that we can all follow to try to prevent this from spreading and becoming a bigger issue again.
Amber Frias, NBC7.
The federal COVID public emergency does not end until May. Taking a quick look at COVID-19 around San Diego, since the start of the pandemic 3 years ago, there have been more than 980,000 reported cases. 5,700 people have died because of the virus. And when it comes to vaccinations, 8.5 million doses have been given so far.